What's up, what's up, what's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And yes, I'm your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling today? Hopefully, y'all are doing well, doing good. I just wanted to give y'all a few updates and, of course, my opinions. Y'all, I'm not on no damn edibles, and I wasn't that late. I had changed it to 11:45 my time. To give y'all a little time to catch up on everything that was going on. So I do want to say shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Mina, one of the hardest working mods. Shout out to Knox. Thank you. I know I'm almost at 30K, huh? What's up, Wanda? What's up, Heart of Inspiration? I love you. Thank you for coming. What's up, Roslyn? How you doing? Melanated Drip. We got Casey up in the building. Shout out to all my members if I didn't say that. What's up, V? Who else we got in here? Patricia, what's up, Patricia? All right, all right, all right. I see everybody coming in. Faux Coffee Trap, thank you for coming. Faux Coffee Trap Queen. What's up, Nina? All right. So, as you guys know, or may not know, what's up, Southern Belle? Jag has, I was about to say somebody else's name. Jag now has Lagena. Lagena, the woman that claimed that she was Aaliyah's daughter. She now has her. She made it to Dallas safely. She is safe from what we can see now. I don't think it's necessarily a concern about, whether or not she's safe. I think most of our concern or where we're thinking and where we're going is, okay, well, what now is the plan? Because how can you help this woman if you have not helped yourself? And we got to have an honest and open conversation, right? Can I be real with y'all? Can I be real with y'all? What is the plan now? Because the hypnosis, the hypnotherapy, I guess that's supposed to bring out some kind of memories in her past and past trauma and stuff like that. I guess that's what it's supposed to do. But I don't think she needs that. Hold on, not think. I know she doesn't need that. And so putting her under hypnosis, like with hypnosis and Heart of Inspiration, you can correct me if I'm wrong, and she doesn't do hypnosis. It's more like to help you with, they have hypnosis to help you with addiction, to help you with sleep. It's more about affirmations and like trying to get them ready, get them out there doing things, ready for the world, to prepare you for something, help you with anxiety. But I don't think necessarily helps you with schizophrenia and then also with trauma. I don't think it's supposed to be used for that, right? And Jessica would know too. The hypnosis isn't used for that. So I don't know how that's possibly going to help her. And then you want to film it? Why would something like that be filmed? Right. And then also I was hearing people say like, oh, well, maybe it can get her to admit that Aaliyah's not her mom and stuff like that. I don't think hypnosis is going to be the result that we want. But to know that it's going to be filmed for Philadelphia, nah, that ain't cool. That is not cool at all. Right. And I asked you guys, so that's what I meant to start out in the beginning, y'all. So we're going to start out with a little poll right now, right? Is Lagena being rescued or is Lagena being exploited? I want you guys to go ahead and either put exploited or is she being rescued? Let me know in the chat right now, 30 seconds. We got one rescued. Okay. And again, we respect everybody's opinion. So I don't mind that at all. I appreciate that. Hopefully you'll explain why you're saying rescued. In the long scheme of things, is she being rescued? No. I think more of what's going on is that she's running away from something. There was someone who stated, and I have to say allegedly too, because I'm not going to say the people, she didn't have shout out to Hear Her, by the way, but I'm not going to say that the people that she had on her panel wasn't relatives or wasn't coworkers. It's just that I don't know if there was any follow up or information given to verify if those people were the family members or an ex coworker or not, right? Um, with that being said, allegedly she had already got evicted from her place, and that's when she said like they broke into her place. They were saying that basically when they evicted her, they were cleaning out her place, and that's why she was saying that they stole her stuff. It wasn't that they stole it. When you get evicted, they throw your stuff out, but that's still a little wonky because when you get evicted, don't they put a lock on the door so you can't get back in? So how did she get back into a place where she got evicted? But also, I do know that it was allegedly said that they offered her homes and different shelters to live in, but she refused to live in those places. So it's a lot of wonky information where I'm kind of like, something's not adding up and something's not making sense. But in the large scheme of things, they do change the locks. Okay, I was right about that. In the large scheme of things, I do think that she was running away from something. I do believe that more conversation should have been had before. Come on down here and let's move you. There definitely should have been more conversation because, mind you, the interview happened on Friday, right? So we got Friday. No. It happened Thursday, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys. It happened Thursday. And then Friday, then you got Saturday. Well, Saturday she was already here, which was yesterday. So Friday was her travel. So Thursday was the interview. Then Friday she starts traveling to Dallas, and then Saturday she's here, and then now we're here Sunday. So all of this happened in the span of like 3 days. This was way too quick, way too fast to try to help someone. If you're going to try to help someone in their situation, we should have helped them where they were. We should have helped them where they were. Why move her from Michigan all the way to Dallas now? Because my fear is, okay, they do all this, they do the ancestry, even though I said if Aaliyah's family has not done any ancestry tests, you can't tell whether or not, or even R. Kelly, if they haven't did one, you can't tell whether or not you're related. It doesn't tell you all that. So they're playing games with that, because what's going to happen is that they're going to say, oh, we took the ancestry test and it came out, it was inconclusive because we can't connect her. So because we can't connect her and it didn't pop up anything, we got to try this. We got to try 21andMe, because King Payne was saying this. He was all like, oh, I'm going to research into the other ones like 21andMe. They're going to do all this shit. And I don't need to laugh, but this is the shit that they're saying, y'all. They're pulling the wool over your eyes. They're literally going to go down the line of different kind of DNA samplings and DNA tests to figure out if she's related to R. Kelly and Aaliyah. But again, I go back to, I don't give a flying beep if she's related to Aaliyah and R. Kelly at this point. I want to make sure that the girl is okay. I think her safety is more important than us worried about her DNA. Would you guys agree with that? Which one are you more concerned with? The DNA, or are you concerned with her safety? Yeah, her safety is number one at this point. Safety. We don't care about no DNA or anything like that. We don't want her to get hypnosis. If anything, we want you to be sending her like, hey, we're on the way to see the therapist. That's all. We don't even need to see that, to tell you the truth. Let me tell you about this. we don't even need to see you take her to the therapist to make sure that she's okay or anything like that, or show her walking into therapy. We don't even need to see that. But if you want to show something, at least show that. But feeding into the narrative like, well, you guys don't know if she's related to Aaliyah or not. And I think that there's something going on with her family. And I want to speak on her family, because can her family be not shit people and be the worst people in the world? Yes, of course, that is a possibility. Her family could be the worst people in the world. Of course, that is a possibility. However, is it that her family are the worst people in the world? Or is it that they have some kind of disagreements and sometimes you just don't get along with your family? You know, I'll be honest with you, like, I always argue with my family, but we love each other. You know, I always argue with my family, but we love each other. It's no hate or nothing. We have disagreements. Now, sometimes the disagreements can be bad, but necessarily I'm not trying to run away to a faraway state or something like that to try to. Come on, y'all. We got to use common sense. Why was there no discussion with her family or anything like that? We're just going to take her word for it. Again, she just got introduced to us through TikTok, and now through Sean Davyway doing an interview with her now here on YouTube. But I had seen her on TikTok. We all seen this on TikTok. And I think initially when we seen this on TikTok, we was like, yeah, whatever. You know, that's the way we took it. But somehow it turned into like, no, we need to help her and we need to save her. And I just don't know what y'all get where I'm going with this. Why on TikTok it was like this girl, like, and there were people defending her like, hey, if she believes that this is a thing, let her believe it. But it doesn't seem like anyone on TikTok was trying to save her, whereas over here it's like people are trying to save her. And I'm just not understanding, like, what's this whole I'm gonna save you, I'm trying to say I need to save her, she needs to be saved. Because was it that she asked for help or was it offered to her? Because I'll tell you this, somebody offered me you know, I don't need $1, but if you offer me $1, I'm gonna take it. So if you're offering me help, did I actually need help? Or is it just that, yo, you said you want to help me. Shit, what can you help me with? You know, shit, yeah, help me. Like we know, the girl was already talking about Jaguar and how the people were trying to get her and do all this, right? That was already a thing that was said, right? So we know that now that she had, because now it's no, well, what I was told was that she reached out to Sean and then Sean did the interview and stuff like that. So that could have been a perfect way of her getting access to Jag. And now that she has Jag, she with Jag. This is probably what the girl wanted from the beginning, is to be with Jag because it's somebody similar that goes through that thing. Some people trauma bond. So the girl believes that because she spoke out about Aaliyah being her mom, people are trying to get her. Jag believes that because of what happened in the industry and stuff like that, people in the industry are trying to get her. So they're bonding over this thing of like people trying to get us. And like I said, and I apologize this about a long time ago, I am sorry if I ever pushed the narrative that everybody in Hollywood are horrible people. We know that Hollywood is with the fuck shit, but I think that we almost pushed this into like existence, that everything in Hollywood is bad, and anybody that talks against Hollywood, they're trying to attack them, they're trying to do this, they're trying to do that. Let me kind of, if you guys don't mind me mixing this in. So they talk about the Illuminati a lot, right? And it's always Jay-Z, Beyonce are like the head of the Illuminati, and then you have Rihanna and stuff like that. They're even talking about how Rihanna was doing Illuminati during the Super Bowl and stuff like that, right? Here's my question, and I forgot who mentioned this to me, but here's my question. Why is it just the black people that are in the Illuminati? And they openly let black people in the Illuminati? Like, why isn't Taylor Swift, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, why are the white people not in the Illuminati and only the black people are in the Illuminati? You know, have we ever asked that question? Like, why the black people are always in the Illuminati, but we never talk about the white people in the. So it always makes me think, like, okay, like, why people pick and choose what they want, whatever. So anyway, going back to that, but to openly, you know, be out there and be like, they're trying to get me, everybody's trying. Okay, well, if they're trying to get you, then that means they're going to be after this woman too. Talking about Lagena, they're going to be after this woman too. So when you are in a situation, you just had your car blown up. So your car just got blown up. We don't know who blew up the car. If somebody said Katy Perry, Janet said that. Yeah, her too. They all in it. Shit. But anyway, her car just blew up. She said that she got the King World. She's claiming that King World had two people after her and stuff like that. And then, but if people are chasing you and people are chasing this girl, how can you be any help to her? And yeah, I know you flashed a gun and stuff like that, or a GUN. You flashed a GUN, like, oh, look at me, I got a GUN. However, you ain't even supposed to have that. Anybody with mental issues are not supposed to have weapons. Anybody with any kind of mental issues are not supposed to have weapons. So I wouldn't even brag about having a GUN or anything like that. You know what I mean? That was just my laptop beeping in. That was that beep. But I wouldn't even brag about having any weapon or anything like that, knowing that I was just hospitalized, and then people can use that and like report that and stuff like that. You got to be careful when you do stupid shit like that. You know what I mean? You got to be careful when you do shit like that. You just can't be out here just wilding out and thinking that shit's cool. It was funny at the time. I'll tell you that. It was funny at the time, but now that it's getting a little bit more serious and we got people constantly saying, you know, now that this girl is involved, it got to stop now. On top of that, I believe that King Payne is chasing the million views. King Payne and Jag, but they're going to do it on his channel. But they're chasing the million views. Now, I've had a million views on like my shorts and stuff like that. I've never had it like on a video, but I have had it on shorts before. You know, it's a great accomplishment. Like, yeah, I got a million views. Look at me, blah, blah, blah. However, this girl should not be used to get a million views. Oh, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. In the words of Project Pat, don't say her, say she don't want to be. Oh, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Right. You can't save her. You can't save everybody, you know? So chasing the million views just to say like, oh, look at me, I got a million views. It's not good if it's hurting someone. You know what I mean? It's not good if it's hurting someone to get a million views. Cut that shit out. We do not need a million views if it's going to hurt this girl, because going through the hypnosis, doing the ancestry, every time there's a letdown or a disappointment that leads to her not being Aaliyah's daughter or R. Kelly's daughter or whatever, it's going to mentally F her up. I think some people are thinking like, okay, well, what they're going to do is prove it and then everything's going to be all right. That's what you guys are thinking. You guys are thinking they're going to prove it and prove that she's not, right? And then everything is going to be okay. They're going to exhaust all their avenues and then she's going to be okay. But my thing is, what happens when they don't get a million views from Lagena? Is she still valuable to them, or do they throw her away? That's what I'm worried about. Right. You don't even get $1 per view. You know, exactly. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all, y'all. It's not worth it for someone's own sanity. But like I was saying, when when she's not valuable anymore. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying her life, but I'm talking about the stuff that she does and all that, right? Don't worry, y'all. I'm gonna get to Sean. I see what y'all saying. I'm gonna get to Sean. I'm gonna get to him. I ain't gonna light him up too bad, but I'm gonna get to it. I got a few thoughts. I want to say that for last, right? But when she's not valuable anymore and nobody cares about her story, because we all have our times. 1 minute we hot on YouTube and 1 minute we not. It happens to all of us, right? Happens to every single one of us. However, are you still going to support this woman? Are you still going to be looking out for her? Are you still going to make sure that she's okay? Like, the best thing to do now, you can go ahead and just send her back home to her family and have a conversation with them. It's not too late to help this woman in a real way. That's what I mean. It's not too late to help this woman in a real way. Send her back to her family. Let this woman be with her family and really work on whatever issues they have. Because again, I'm not saying Lagena is lying. I'm just saying we don't know all the facts and we don't know everything. But what makes us question is the whole Leah R. Kelly thing. It makes us question what is being said. So that's what makes us think like, okay, well, not everything that happened in your life might be true to you, but it's not completely true. Does that make sense? What I mean? Whatever happened in her life, that might be true to her, but it's not completely true. It's truthiness. Didn't I teach y'all that word not too long ago? Truthiness. For those of you who are new, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and everything like that. I appreciate that. Truthiness. It's something that might appear or could be true, but necessarily might not be true. And so truthiness is what's going on. And I use the same word to describe Jag, truthiness. Something that could be true or appears to be true, but can also not be true. And that's what's going on. They believe the truth. They're believing this is true, but it might not be actually true. This is what they believe to be true, though. And I know it's delicate. And I know people are saying, like, if we just tell her, like, yes, we believe you until we see the facts. But okay, after we get the facts and we get the results, are we still going to push this? Because we still got to be sensitive to her after she finds out that she's not related to them. You know, we still have to still be sensitive to this woman after she finds out that she's not related to them. So it's kind of like, it's better for us to stop it now, as far as like saying like, yeah, we're gonna make sure we do an answer. That's not even important at this time. Helping this woman, getting her straightened out and everything like that, making sure she's on her feet, making sure that she's able to work, do whatever she got to do, help her mentally, that is perfectly fine. But I don't think getting the results is going to help her. Let me ask you guys this question. I know y'all hate the 30-second countdown, but this is what I'm known for, so you just got to get over it. After she gets the results, right? Do you think that Lagena will be satisfied? Put a 1 in the chat, yes. Put a 2 in the chat, no. Peaches said they seem to come up with a new scheme every week. Next week she'll be kidnapped and disappear. Oh Lord! Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate. Excuse me. I appreciate that. But yeah, like I said, it's always a thing where like, and everybody put 2 for the most part. Thank you guys. It always seems to be a thing like, you know, one of the content creators do a video and then all of a sudden they come up with some kind of answer for it. They be like, all right, this is what we're gonna they figure this out. This is what we're gonna tell the people, let's work on it, blah, 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 blah. And then they come and be like, yeah, y'all stupid. Y'all think we lying? Why y'all think we lying? We already showed you proof. Look at this. And then once they called out on the lie, they'd be like, hey, let's go back to the drawing board. Okay, this is now what we're going to say. We're going to go with this. Okay. Yeah, this is it. Now we got proof. Now y'all look stupid. And then when they get called out again, let's go back to the drawing. It just seems like they just keep going back to the drawing board every time a lie or an inaccuracy is called out. They go back to the drawing board and think of something else. Oh, and you guys can also follow me on Instagram. Thank you, Mina, for doing that. Yeah, every time an inaccuracy is called out or a lie, it's always like, oh, no, like this is what it actually is. And they're just combating with stuff. If you say the truth one time and it's the truth, you don't have to keep coming back with video after video after video, right? Don't worry, we ain't going to do another poll. You ain't got to come back with another video. One video is enough. One video is enough, and that's it. We don't have to keep coming back with video after video after video after video to try to disprove something. One video is enough. When the video is the truth and it hits, when the video is the truth and it hits, that's all you need is one video. You don't need multiple videos like a rebuttal or nothing. You know, you don't need that. What you rebuttaling for? You said the truth. There's no debate. It is what it is. Just leave it where it's at, right? But when you start with a lie, you have to continuously keep going with a lie. And then by the end of the day, you like, shit, I done told so many lies. I forgot what lie I told. Now I need to create a whole new scenario to try to talk. That's what it seems like people are doing. All right. Now let me go to Sean Davy Way before because I see how people in the chat. Okay. All right, so I did get a chance to watch Sean Davy Way video, and I'm calling these people by their real name because it is a sensitive subject. And so if y'all want me to terrorize later, y'all can put a 1 in the chat and let me know if y'all want me to terrorize. But this situation right here is serious, so I want to call them by their real name. But I'm going to be honest. So Sean said that, you know, his anxiety was really bad and stuff like that. And he feels so bad for what happened and he feels guilty. He did say that they do feel like they're exploiting her. And, he doesn't know how it got to this point, and she wasn't supposed to be content. And I'm just paraphrasing what he's saying. He said that he asked Jag to show the receipts and stuff like that with the cash ups, like what she did with the cash ups, show that it was transferred, but Jag hasn't. In the same token, he was trying to protect them and say like, oh, we're not having a falling out. You know, we're not doing any, I'm not fighting with them or anything. I'm just saying this and that. But in the same token, he's saying that she's being exploited. So it's either she's being exploited or you think they have good intentions, because he also turned around and said they have good intentions. I don't think you can exploit somebody and have good intentions. Am I crazy? Yeah, the diplomacy. That's what it was. Listen, I can use Heart of Inspiration as an example because we talk on the phone. We don't agree on everything, but we're able to have a conversation and say, I agree with this, I don't agree with this, and we're fine. But if you have a friendship with King Payne and Jaguar where you can't tell them the truth or you can't be honest with them, that's something within you. That's something that you have to work out. And I don't know why he's afraid or scared to like just say like, yo, what y'all doing is effed up. Stop doing it. Because now he's saying that he's backing away from the situation. My thing, and Sean, if you're listening, let me talk to you, Sean. You know, you call me Fat SAT2, I call you Shark Boy and all that stuff. But this is a serious moment. I want to talk to you, Sean, because I know you're watching. Hello, Sean. Everybody wave hi to Sean. Listen, I know we have not been the best of friends. And this is Andre Turner II talking to you. This is not AT2. This is Andre Turner II talking to you. I know we have not been the best of friends. We haven't been friends at all. Shit. I mean, let's be honest about that. However, you walking away from the situation and saying you're walking away is not the best thing to do. I feel personally that King Payne and Jaguar respect you a lot. They respect you a lot. And I think your voice and your influence on them could actually help the situation. I think you staying in there and being like, yo, this is what we need to do. We need to go ahead and reverse this, and we need to go ahead and do this, that, and that, and this. Come up with a plan that you can present to them. And you ain't got to cuss them out or yell at them. I'm not saying that, because I know some people are going to take this, oh, you want him to drag his friends? Like, why would he drag his friends? No, I'm not saying that. But hell, you got to be, if your friend is going to run in a burning building without any protection, you're going to be like, hey, no, don't run into that burning building, you know? But again, the reason why he has to be a part of it is because you did bring her on the platform and you did have them come up on panel. I believe, and this is why when I do interviews, I do not have people come up on the panel with the person up there. It's like, y'all seen Jag on my channel, right? Y'all seen when I had Jag on my channel, I don't do a whole call in and let people ask her questions, because we know how when people ask Jag and they question her, how she go all crazy and ballistic, right? I purposely do that because I know, yo, we need to end this show or it's going to get really ugly. So with him in this situation, having the people come up and talk to her and stuff like that, it opened the door. Even if he didn't realize it, it opened the door. And it opened the door for them to be all like, oh, well, let's go ahead. Because basically it looked like she was passed off to King Payne so then he could interview her. It looked like she was passed off. And so with her being passed off, well, you the person that passed her off. Now, she's a grown woman. And I know a lot of people say that Lagena is a grown woman. Why we keep babying her, blah, blah, blah. But yo, we can tell when they ask her questions and when they, present her with facts, she kind of, she gets upset, or she starts stumbling over her words, or she explains things like, and she goes around in circles with the answers. Like, we can tell, and I'm not saying that the girl is dumb. I'm not saying that. I want y'all to be clear. Let's be clear on that. I'm not saying that she's dumb. But what I'm saying is when they ask her questions, you can tell that it's kind of like she's stumbling over her words, or it's like repetitive what she's saying and she's talking in circles. It's not clear, concise, It's not straight to the point, like I'm able to answer these questions because I know what you're going to ask me. It's like she's caught off guard with every question. So with that being said, you could already see this kind of stuff. And I think that if she wanted to talk to Jag, y'all could have hooked that up behind the scenes. And you could have had her talk to Jag. But having her come up on panel, and then it kind of creates this whole hoopla and everything like that. And now Jag saying, well, you look just like R. Kelly's mom. You look just like her. You got the same cheekbones. You got the same hair. You got the same this. Yeah, you can look like somebody and not be related. But that don't mean that she's related to these people. So now you have Jag, who's chasing 1 million views. You got King Payne that's chasing 1 million views. And you need to let them know, like, hey, let's go ahead, set up a plan to get this woman help, but let's return her back home and let's see if we can talk to the family and work something out. That's what needs to be done at this point. I think him washing his hands is a horrible situation. Because why would you wash your hands with this? And it's not good. Granted, he has his own mental health issues and stuff like that. I get it. He has anxiety and all that good stuff. Well, not good stuff. Y'all know what I mean, right? I get it. And so it's a lot for him. It's a lot for him and what he's going through. But do you just, because my thing is that, okay, you just pretend like this never happened and you just go about your content. People are still going to be asking where Lagena is and how she doing. They're expecting an answer because now you're kind of like the Lagena representative. And also too, and I said this before, and this is actually kudos to him. I think out of Jag Kingpin and Sean Davy Way, we kind of recognize, we kind of have more respect for Sean Davy Way. Am I telling the truth, you guys? Out of those three people, we have more respect for Sean Davy Way. Is that true what I'm saying, y'all? Or is that just I'm making that up? Yeah. Okay. I think, we put him on a higher pedestal than the other two, right? So we look to him into being the adult. Remember, I asked y'all, who's the adult in the situation? Who's the adult? We look to him as being the adult. So he needs to be the one to take care of the situation. Him just washing his hands with it, I don't think that's a good look either. Now, if you need to take a break and you're all like, hey, I'm not going to deal with this publicly, that's one thing. I'm like cool with that, I'm cool with that. If you don't want to address it publicly, I think that's actually smart, not addressing it publicly. But for you just to be like, I wash my hands and I'm done with it, nah. No. Dry your tears. Stop crying. Remember, you told me I was crying like a little bitch. Well, you crying like a little bitch. No, dry your tears. And it's okay to cry. All men cry, It's okay to cry, but dust off your tears, get your ass up and help that woman. Help her. Help her, Sean. Help her. And this is me being Andre Turner II. I am not being AT2. I am being Andre Turner II when I'm talking to you. Help this woman. Help her. Help her. Everybody in the chat, put a hashtag help her, please. Help her. Hashtag help her. Don't leave that woman out there. Don't leave her out there. Because now she is thrown to the wolves, and now we don't know what's going to happen to her. You just can't leave. Yeah, you just can't leave her. Nah. And again, it's a lot to say because I know some people were saying that it's a lot to say if anything happens to her, it's all his fault. I'm not going to go that far and say that, but I will say you washing your hands with the situation and stepping all the way back from it, that's not a good thing. That's not cool at all. You introduced her to whenever somebody comes through you, you are responsible for them, unfortunately. Just like with the one lady that I had a falling out that started that horrible rumor about me, even though we had a falling out and everything like that, I'm still responsible because I was the one that introduced her to you guys. Real Entertainment, we had a falling out. Now we're cool, but I'm talking about in the past. With Real Entertainment News, we had our falling out, but all in all, I was the one that introduced you guys to him. So I am, in a way, responsible for him. Whenever you're the person that introduced us to someone, you are responsible because people are looking at it. When you put your cosign on them and be like, hey, support these people, follow these people. And when they turn out to be not who you thought they were, they're going to look at you and be like, okay, like, I thought you vouched for this person. I only followed them because you vouched for them, That's how people, thank you, Goody. That's how people are going to look at it. They're going to look like you vouch for these people. And this is like, you're responsible at this point. I don't think there's any other way around it. You're responsible at this point. I don't think there's no way in hell you can just, I wash my hands. Nah. You got to get back in there. You got to solve it. And if you need help, like, here's my thing. If you need help, reach out to people. There's plenty of content creators. I can get my subscribers. Like, by the way, if y'all have any resources that can help Lagena, please hit me up in the DM, AT2_for real, Why Miss Atilian said she didn't know him? No, I did not introduce King Pain to you. Miss Atilian. She always trying to play me. I did not introduce that man to you. No, don't put that one on me. But anyway, yeah, if there's any resources that anyone have, I think people will be more than willing to help. You know what I mean? No one's gonna say like, "Oh no, that ain't my business." Nothing. If I can get my subscribers to help, Harder Inspiration can get her subscribers to help. Who a Hood Life can get her. All the content creators in here, we can pull together and help with something. You know. But we can't just wash our hands and be like, oh well, we tried, and it's getting too hot. It's getting too hot, so I'm gonna back away. That's what happens a lot in YouTube. When a situation gets too hot, it's all like, ooh, I'm gonna back away. I do it too. But this situation is a little different because now we got the girl in Dallas, and now we all like, we don't know what's gonna go down. You know what I mean? Y'all, I was trying to get the links for in my last video, and I forgot to put it in this video, but I did put links to different mental health resources. There's stuff on there where you can like test yourself to see if you suffer from depression, anxiety. Also, there's things called warm lines. I don't know, I've never heard that word before, but a warm line. You know how they have the hotline that replaced 911 for like mental health. Now they have warm lines where you can call, and it's just people that you can talk to when it's not a dire situation. I think that's also a great resource. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm gonna try to copy and paste this real quick, y'all. I have my laptop on my lap, so I don't have like a desk or anything like that. So that's why it's taking me so long, you guys. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. Is it gonna post? I think it might be too many letters or something like that. Okay, hopefully it posts, but 2-1. Oh, somebody said 211. See, that's perfect. Okay, yeah, it did post. I kind of messed up the way it was. Hopefully, it looks better on YouTube. But yeah. But there's different mental health resources that can help you guys. There's a lot out there, and it's okay. I always say like, oh yeah, I was a little crazy and stuff like that. And I know I say it in a joking way, but I'm serious. Like, getting help was one of the best things that I did. And I wasn't even at the point where it was something bad. Again, I told you, like, I've never been diagnosed with depression, anxiety. I've took the test, but I've never been diagnosed with it. But just having that person to talk to and kind of work out some things and get the tools I needed to be able to handle certain situations helped me. It helped me. I know some people say, oh, well, I tried therapy and it didn't help. If you tried it, you can always, and here's the thing too, that's what a lot of people use this excuse like, oh, I tried it, it didn't work for me. You can request to go to someone else, or maybe it's a certain kind of therapy that you need that can help you. You don't have to stick with that one doctor. You can try other doctors and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You don't have to stick with the one. I think it's very important that we stress that. If a therapist that you have is saying like, oh, they ain't working for me, or the kind of therapy you're doing is not working, you can always go back to your insurance and be like, hey, this one might actually work better, or can I try something else, or this doctor's not working. Because I feel like that's what a lot of people say is like, this doctor did not work for me, so I'm not going to try it, or I'm not going to do it. It's all like, no, you have to go back. Oh, thank you, Catrice. That's a good one, because now that she's in Texas, that would be a good one. Health and Human Services, Texas. Yes, one of those, definitely. They won't let you guys put links unless you're mods, but if you guys have a name of a thing that people should look for, go ahead and put it in the chat, y'all. Go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm definitely okay with that, because any one of us right now could use it. And so I don't mind y'all putting that in the chat. It just won't allow you to put links because you guys aren't mods or anything like that. But anyway, at this point, please help her. Please reach out. Please, don't give up on this girl. Please try to have a conversation with them in anything. But like I said with Sean, he can't say that they have good intentions, but then say they're exploiting her because he's trying to be careful with his words so he doesn't hurt his friends. At this time, you need to not hurt your friends, but you need to tell them the truth at least. I agree. Tell them the truth. And that would be the best thing to do because, like I said, I believe those two people, Kingpin and Jaguar, I believe they respect you enough to where they will listen to you. But you going to just wash your hands with it and just be done with it and just, call her whatever. No, because at this point, again, even though it wasn't your Cash App, you did put Jaguar's Cash App up there, and people have questions. What did you do with the money? Why, why don't we have any receipts? People are always going to ask, well, you promoted it, so why they're always going to bring that back to you. No matter what, it's always going to come back to you. So as far as washing your hands, yeah, nah, you can't do that because we're honestly looking at you to make this right. I'll be honest, we are. And again, like I said, I don't like him at all. However, I am looking at him to make this situation right. And I think also there's a struggle with being the character Sean Davy Way versus who he really is in real life. A lot of YouTubers get stuck in that. I believe that Jaguar Wright is getting stuck in trying to chase the million views and being this character and stuff like that. And I believe that Kingpin is being stuck at being this character and who he really is. They're not being their authentic selves, and they're trying to save face because of the image that they have to portray and stuff like that. But when it comes to real life, I don't want you to be portraying an image. I want you to be yourself. When it comes to real life scenario, it's okay to be yourself. You don't always have to be a character. He's not gonna let this ruin his platform. Jag is running this event and needs to be stopped. Sorry, but my long-winded ass. No, I didn't catch everything that you were saying. No. And again, you're allowed to have your opinion. And yes, is Jag the ringleader of all this? Yes. We know that because she's in Jag's watch now. However, you still need to be there to guide her and do all the, you still need to be there. You still need to be a part of it. You introduced her. You introduced her to everyone. So you have to make it right. If you feel guilty about it, then make it right. That's all I'm saying. You feel guilty about it, make it right. And Jag, reunite this woman with her family. You keep talking about, what's up, Stephanie? You keep talking about, oh, there's some the Africans in Detroit are trying to come after me now because they're probably trying to come after you because you got their daughter, you got their family with you right now, and they're probably wondering what the hell is going on because whoever put Lagena in that hospital, and then also because she was in the hospital, she must have a caseworker. So because she has a caseworker, they're probably worried about her and looking for her. So if they know that you're with her, they're probably looking like, hey, where's Lagena? Like, where's she at? They're probably hitting you up trying to find her. Not to hurt you, but to be all like, return her ass back home. Like, what is she doing out there with you? Return her back home. Now, do I think her family had the best method and like they did everything they could do? I don't know for a fact, but I know something. If they were in her life, if they were heavily in her life, I don't think she would have been able to just up and leave like that. There would have been something going on. She wouldn't have been able just to up and leave. I do believe that they probably had moments in her life and stuff like that, but I don't think they were watching her every move. And I think there needed to be somebody really over her, or maybe her living with a family member. I know the alleged sister-in-law had said that she has kids and she was worried about their safety and stuff like that, so she couldn't live with her. But I mean, I was just thinking like, damn, at least something, like some kind of family member. I just can't imagine not being able to live with any family member or no family member wanting to take me in. And it could be another thing too. I know when I would struggle, I would not reach out to my parents. And the reason why I wouldn't reach out to my parents is because I was ashamed that I failed. So there would be moments where I wouldn't reach out to my parents because I'm all like, I don't want to disappoint them. So I'll just keep whatever I'm going through or the shit that I'm going through to myself and not share it with my family. Possibly Lagena could be going through the same thing, y'all. When you, and mind you, I was 23. Thank you, Eva. She agrees with me. Yeah. When I was 23, that's when I started living on my own. And I know some people are like, well, I moved out when I was 16 or 15. Okay, that was you. Shut up. But when I was 23, I was an adult, but I wasn't ready to live on my own. Like, the only thing I had to pay was $200 in rent when I was 23. $200 in rent. So imagine going to 200 to, damn, my rent was hella cheap back then too. It was $675. So 200 to 675. Then you got to pay electric. I had me a little internet, a little cable, and stuff like that. So it was shit. Let me tell you, I thought I could go like 6 months without paying my electric bill. Right. All of a sudden, I try to turn on the light. And the light wasn't working. I was like, damn, the power's out. So I called the power company. I was like, hey, my power is out. I ain't never shared the story with y'all before. I was like, hey, my power's out. Is there any way that you can come out? Like, how long is it going to be before you guys turn it back on, right? They're like, oh, let me look. They're like, oh, no, your power was cut off. And I was like, okay, well, like, can I pay it right now? I was like, how my debit I can pay it? He was like, well, yeah, you can pay it, but it won't be turned back on until Monday at 10 a.m. because it was the weekend. Do you know that day I was so ashamed to say anything to anybody that I was literally in the dark on Friday, Saturday, Sunday until, I went to work that morning, so I don't even know. But I was literally in the dark Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I was too ashamed to say, like, yo, I effed up and got my power turned off. And I had to wait that whole weekend. That's some shit, y'all. That's some shit. And I know some people are going to run with that and make fun of that, but it happened to me, It happened to me, and I'm not ashamed to say that because I was so ashamed that I didn't pay my bills, and I knew my parents would cuss me out and do all this stuff that I did not share that with them. I hate that moment that happened. But I have some people up here. See, my laptop been messing up. Okay, I'm gonna let Stephanie on, and I'm gonna let Miss ATLian on. Hello, ladies. Hello. How are you guys doing?
Cuz, good Sunday, cuz. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Miss ATLian, can I hear you?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I'm gonna let Stephanie go first, then you, okay? Go ahead, Stephanie.
Okay, can you hear me? Because I think I lost you there for a second. Okay, cool. So, hey, listen, first of all, I just want to say, cuz you ain't really an adult out here in this world until you've had your power cut on 1 or 2 times, so don't worry about it. It's happening to everybody. You're not a real one until you've had your power cut off at least 1 or 2 times. So it's all good. That just shows you was out here trying to make it by yourself. You want to depend on your parents. That's good on you. Good on you. That's how you learn. So I just want to say also living in Texas, and it's like this a lot of other places, but Texas is one of the worst. I mean, we're in the bottom ranking states for mental health care. And typically in an urban county, in a rural county, there's no services at all. In an urban county, the biggest provider of mental health care services is the county jail. So, we got it rough out here. I'm not even playing. And we get even in liberal counties like mine, where I live in Travis County, we pride ourselves on being the Democrats and the sea of Republicans and all this, that, and the third. It's not really all that true. And you can tell because even here in liberal Travis County, the biggest provider of mental health services is our county jail. And it's we don't have a lot of funding. We don't make it a priority, and we live in a culture that de-emphasizes and stigmatizes mental health care. And so, we have to. It's a multi-pronged approach. We need better services. We need more doctors. We need more places to get access. But we also, we as Texans need to make that a priority, and we need to make sure our politicians know that this is something we want. But we also, as a people, as a culture, and this goes across all rich, poor, black, white, any sort of ethnicity, any part of the country, any part of, and I mean, it's not just an American problem either, but it is that, besides more money, besides better care, we also just need a cultural change as far as mental health care goes, because it's just a damn shame when I hear people on YouTube making fun of other creators for seeking out mental health care. That's like,
Right.
would you, if you had a broken arm, would you be like, nah, man, I can take care of this myself, man, I got this? No.
Yeah, well, they used it against me. That's how I know.
Exactly.
They were all like, "Oh yeah," because AT2, he got mental health issues, and I'm all like, first of all, I'm not even that fucking crazy. But
Right.
but secondly, if I did go get help, why is that a bad thing? Miss AT Alien, let me get you in here.
Okay, I want to just commend Stephanie for saying what she said, because I just want to be real. I literally was in Detroit last week for a wedding, and there are not a lot of resources there, and I have sorority sisters that live there, so I don't know what's going on with her, but I also want you to recognize your privilege, AT2. You do come from generational wealth, okay? So I want you to understand that I have family members who I also have my own family. You can't necessarily have everybody live with you. You try your best, but it can be a hardship on your own family having someone who is mentally ill, who might, I'm not even saying this about her, I'm just going to give you examples that I know of, who might have a drug problem, might be promiscuous, and you bring that in your house. And so sometimes you have to perfect.
I'm going to let Heart of Inspiration up here. Go ahead, Miss AT.
You have to protect your mental health. And what I heard the other content creators say was that I'm not going to talk about this publicly, but I'm still going to continue to text the young lady. I don't know her name. And I'm going to be there for her if she needs me. And that's the only thing you can do, because I've had friends who put me on the emergency contact list. I can't be running the streets every night, every time you have a problem. And I just want you to just recognize, like, we also have, I'm okay with saying I have anxiety. I don't mind saying I have medication. I don't mind saying that I have gone to a therapist. I got a lot of stuff and a lot of people that I take care of. And I think it's basically kind of normal, but nobody wants to talk about it. So I just want, before
That's right, it's very normal.
Family, yes, before we pass judgment on the family, and you got beef with Sean, you can pass judgment on him. I just want us to, like, we don't have the whole story. When somebody tells you half the story, I'm sure there's more to it, and there's a reason why someone just gets up and leaves with a stranger. It could be mental illness, and also because you might have burned a lot of bridges.
I can see that. Heart of Inspiration, go ahead. Give us that knowledge.
Wow. Okay. So you can burn a lot of bridges simply from mental illness, because we don't know how to deal with it. And
true.
And it's still, I'm surprised even in younger people now, how there's still a stigma to getting help. Like, there's still a stigma to talking to a counselor. There's still a stigma to being like, I've got a problem, and I don't want to get out of bed in the morning, or I'm just like, I don't understand why I might not want to be here anymore, or anything like that. But I think we have to take the accountability of, first of all, the people that have been involved in this. One of them is suffering from psychosis, severe psychosis. How it happened to her, we could talk about that till the cows come home. But the reality of it is she's suffering openly, knowingly from severe psychosis. We have a young lady who is in her 20s, almost 30, I'm understanding, if that's true. She is an adult. If anyone, I know we've been talking about different, so I don't usually say content creators, but I don't know if any of you all saw, I think it was a year, maybe a year and a half ago now, maybe 2 years ago, Funky Dineva on his channel chronicled the whole thing that was happening with him and a brother of his down there that has mental health issues, that is, it's either schizophrenia
or gotta look into that.
And it was a whole long, because he was missing from YouTube for a long time. And if you listen to what they had to go through, and his grown brother was living with their grandmother, and a grandmother or aunt, one of the two, and it took so long for him to actually be able to get him the help. Because I see people saying, well, they have to want it. They have to want it. If you've never dealt with anyone with this level of psychosis, you don't comprehend what wanting means. Because to them, you don't want to take the medication because it makes you feel weird, right? You get used to this euphoric, psychotic, kind of world. And that becomes your normal. You've got adrenaline pumping. You've got all of this, serotonin, all these hormonal imbalances going on in your body. So, but then at some point you get clarity and understand that this isn't quite right. But then you go back to, but I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to be sedated in a sense, and for the voices to be quiet, or for me not to be manic, because I get so much done. So we can't blame the family. And I don't think anybody here on this channel is blaming the family.
No.
And if anybody is, that's disgusting, because you don't know, right? You just don't know. Second of all, sometimes people can be violent when they're going through these things, where they have mental health imbalances. So I would understand if the sister-in-law didn't necessarily, you know what I'm saying? But what do you do with an adult? Evidently, she was taking medication well enough to be able to live on her own and at least somewhat hold some jobs and whatnot. And I see people saying there's a lot of resources in Detroit, but again, and there's probably a lot of resources in a lot of places. I know in the South.
But that wait list, mine was like 6 months, but they were able to pull some strings and get me in like within a month. But it was 6 months initially.
And that's the unfortunate reality of the healthcare system. Whether you have paid for private healthcare these days or not, you're still waiting for forever.
Right.
For respite, for this, for that, for just I have to make an appointment a year in advance to see my own primary care physician. Literally at my last annual, I had to make the appointment for next year then in order to see my primary care physician. I have to wait. It's like 5-6 months out before I can get my scheduled mammogram, like TMI, but you understand I'm trying to
Right.
It ain't TMI. It ain't TMI.
Ladies, go get your mammogram. Go get checked and everything.
That's just a part of our life. Yeah, that's just a part of our life. We need to normalize that stuff too, because that's just a good healthcare. That's just being accountable to yourself and to your family to get yourself taken care of. I mean, that's just part of our lives.
My granddaughter's biological mother is an addict. Unfortunately, my son has full custody and placement. To get her to see a counselor from the stuff she went through in her first 4 years of life, the first time I went to go do that, it was 6 months. 6 months.
And then you done took this girl from Michigan to Texas, so she's going to be at the bottom of the list because basically it's like starting over. They're not going to cut her in line because she done moved and
Absolutely
now
not.
she going to be
if you can even get on the list. If you could even get on the list here on Texas, even if you could get on the list, because the qualifications are so high that like it's sometimes you can't be like single men in particular have a really hard time getting on it because our
Yeah.
Medicare here in the state don't cover single men with no children. Like you just can't get
Hmm.
on it. And the women who don't have custody of their children who are single can't get on it. It's just the healthcare systems, the public healthcare systems don't cover them. Point
Right.
blank. Period.
Let me let Kim on here.
And can I say one more thing, and I'm going to jump down?
Yeah.
Just to keep people, just say, kind of speak to what Heart of Inspiration was saying, that mental health conditions are some of the, if not the only health conditions you can suffer from that will actively tell you not to treat them.
Mm,
And,
that's
that will
true.
tell you, like, don't take my med, don't get rid of me, don't make me go away, don't
Yeah.
treat me. Because, and it's your own health condition is plotting against you getting better. And
Yes.
that is a
Yeah.
formidable thing to, have
And then
to deal with
what happened
as
when
a
you told your
family, as a
parents,
society.
Stephanie? What happened when you told your parents you were depressed? They said you better go depress them dishes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's right. Or, in a culture like mine, it was that's a, have some parents, not mine, thank God, but my parents didn't do this, but some parents in my community would tell you that that's a demon. And we need to go get you, put some hands on you and stuff
Oh
and get you in
yeah,
the prayer
go to church.
service.
Right.
Yeah. Because,
Oh, we
I
ain't
mean,
gonna start talking about that, child.
and I mean, even ones who wouldn't say it's a demon, who would be a little bit more considerate, of like a little bit more modern, would still say you need to pray about it. Even if you're going to take the medication
Yep.
and you're going to see the therapist, it needs to be a Christian therapist, and you need
Yep.
to pray. That needs to be the number one healthcare
Mm,
solution is to
Yep.
pray about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 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 You pray about everything because God's
Yep.
gonna fix it. And da 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 da. And I'm not. Lord help me. I'm not gonna do this on
I know.
AT.
That's a whole
I
nother
won't do this
thing.
on
right.
my
It's a whole
channel, but I won't do it on yours.
right. Kim, go ahead and sound off. Thank you for coming up.
Oh, hey,
I'm going to
everybody.
drop
Can you hear
down.
me?
Thanks,
Okay.
everybody.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Hi, can
Yes,
you
we
hear
can
me?
hear you.
Oh, good. Okay. Hey, I'm actually Hello Kimmy in the chat.
Oh,
Uh,
what's up? Hello, Kim. Okay, I
yeah.
didn't know who you were. Okay, okay.
Right.
Now I
This
know.
is right. This is my first time, coming up. So I said
Thank you.
I wanted to come up because I worked in social services some time
Mm,
ago for about 2 years as a coordinator and counselor for a domestic violence program and shelter. So that a big part of that, our responsibility there is getting social services and everything for the families and people that were seeking our help. And I want to do kind of like a public service announcement and say, like, if you
yes.
wherever you are, if you're having a hard time trying to find where to go, one of the places we would let people know is you can go to like a hospital and go to the emergency room because you have social workers there who have resources, and a lot of times they can whatever city you're in, they can direct you to whatever that help that you need. So if it's counseling,
Mm,
therapy, etc. So that's a start because I know like most of the time people don't even know where to go.
right. But
So
they gonna
so
charge you that 250 to 300 though. You go to emergency.
Well, no. You go when you go to the emergency room, just ask to speak to let them know your circumstance. You'll need a social worker, and
Oh,
see if you can go
specifically
directly to a
asked for it.
social worker. The other thing too, if you're in the public school system too, you want to get in touch with the counselor of that school. They can also all of these different counselors and social workers have resources, and then they can tell you within your area, places that they can suggest. They can make referrals and tell you where to go. So I just want to tell that to people who like or may be in a situation or have a sense of urgency, they need to find something, right away. But this, I wanted to come up because this really breaks my heart about what's going on. This story and situation, the way it's unfolding, it's going completely left.
Right.
And this is nothing. Jaguar has issues, obviously. I'm not gonna, go
Oh
into that
yeah, don't sugarcoat
detail.
it. It is.
Yeah, right. It's just, and it's really heartbreaking about I feel like there's been a part of her who wanted to help people, but I think now this is taking a whole different turn. It's like the blind leading the blind.
Hmm.
This young lady who is with her, she really, now allegedly I'm not going to mention that channel because of respect, but I was on another channel and allegedly I'm not sure if she's married to this twin brother of this girl, but she supposedly has a twin brother,
Right.
and they had been reaching out. He's been reaching out. I think they were close. He had been reaching out to her, trying to get help, and she stopped, returning his calls and his text messages. So they were kind of at a loss. They started finding out things. People were bringing it to their attention about what was going on, and she just stopped communicating with the family. Like some of the things you were saying, that
Right.
people, tend to be ashamed, or whatever the reason, they don't tell their
Not
family all the time
everybody
what they're
is on
doing.
social media. With my
Exactly.
family, they be like, "Oh, your little YouTube channel." Not everybody is on YouTube and stuff like that. So a lot of people are like, "Well, how didn't they know?" They don't.
Right,
Like,
right. A lot of
my
times they don't
dad will
know.
say like, "Oh yeah, my son does YouTube, but he's not up there watching it. Thank God." He's not up there watching.
I'm saying.
Oh, go ahead,
So,
Kim. I'm sorry to cut you off.
oh no, that's okay. But anyway, I just say all that to say is that sometimes the family doesn't know what's happening if the person cuts them off, and by her being an adult, she can uproot and move anytime she wants to, and it seems like this is what's happened, and I feel like she's been exploited,
Hmm.
definitely. And even if people have good intentions, whether it's Jag or whoever is with her, is not in her best. It's just like when you say something in somebody's best interest. What's going on right now is not in her best interest. I can tell you that flat out.
Right.
And but the catch to it is, by her being an adult, she can make this decision and she can do this, even though we don't know her mental state, but she has a right to jump up, leave Detroit, and go to Texas, and do and say whatever she wants. So at the end of the day, I think that things are going to unfortunately come to a head with that situation that she's in right now, and it's going to be forced for
Right.
whether it's authorities stepping in or whatever.
Right.
You
And I
know,
think that's a hard situation because she is an adult. So it's all like we're treating her like a child, but it's not that we're trying to treat her like a child. It's just
mhm.
that we know that it's like not every like there she's not in, I'm trying to put in like good words, but she's not in the best frame of mind to make certain decisions. I think that's what we're struggling with. Heart inspiration, you know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then I'm gonna say this before, unfortunately, I have to drop down. But this is the
Okay,
thing,
go ahead.
guys. Unless, by and large, in most of the states, unless you can prove this person is a harm to themselves or others,
Hmm.
there's not much that can be done.
Mm.
Period.
Exactly.
There's
Right.
just not much that can be done. And
Mhm.
years ago, guys, well before some of y'all are old enough that you'll remember these times where people could just randomly lock you up in a mental health institution because they said they thought you was crazy. And
Really?
that was within my lifetime. Okay. Matter of fact, I vividly remember Jimmy Carter was president when
Hmm.
they changed the mental health, the commitment laws. Okay.
Oh.
So now the pendulum was swung so far this way that it's difficult to get someone help that actually needs it.
Right. So people were just able to call just because it wasn't like there was anything going on. They could just literally call or.
Yeah, they could go to the doctor, they could go to the mental health facility, they could go to the police and
Mhm.
say you're nuts and you need to be committed. So I mean and yes, God is Godiva, that happened a lot to women. It was really used against us.
Yeah,
Um,
because I know I had mentioned because whenever you say a president, people get mad. But I know Reagan had cut like mental health funding and stuff like
the
that.
reality was
It,
it was Carter before him.
oh, it was harder before.
It was
Okay,
Carter before him. Like none of these guys, we have to stop this. Like both parties, both sides. We're not gonna get political.
right,
But they all got their
exactly.
hands dirty. Don't none of them care about us.
They all
Mike was
play
right.
us.
Mike was right. Okay. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Neither
Yeah,
side.
I don't know what I'm saying, that.
Don't play it because it's the truth. So, yeah, it's a little known fact. I mean, I lived it, so I remember it, and I had relatives that were ex-military that were like just kicked out of their mental health institutions and then forced to be homeless. So there's two sides to the story, right? You don't want anybody just be able to commit you, but also people deserve to get the help that they need.
Right.
So the problem here is that we have one person with mental health issues that now is bringing another person with mental health issues into their space. And then we got people that don't have mental health issues, perhaps, that are just like kind of in on it. Like you can't, unfortunately, somebody in this that is coherent is going to have to stick in it, whether it's publicly or privately. They're going to have to stay in it to make sure. And this is a cautionary tale to not get yourself wrapped up into some stuff you don't know what the hell's going on. Period.
Right. I definitely agree with you. Yeah. Thank you, Heart of Inspiration, for coming up. I know you said you got to go. Thank you. I love you.
Thank you. I love you too. See you later.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Okay. Oh, she was able to drop herself. Okay. Let me let on Stephanie. Stephanie had something that she wanted to say real quick. Stephanie, go ahead.
Yes, I want to just second everything Heart of Inspiration said about the history of this. A lot of it does get, it looks like it was Reagan, because that's when the homeless vet population started to spike, was under Reagan, because we had all the vets from Vietnam, and then we had a lot of vets that would have otherwise been put in facilities, against their will or not. And then, those just became unavailable. And now it's to the extent that even if you want to go, there's nothing, because the funding has been cut so much. And a lot of that was in the vein of helping people who were getting committed involuntarily, like lesbians, who were basically put away because, gay was a sickness, and they were tortured in a lot of those facilities. And so, yes, there is a reason why you should be able to refuse mental health treatment. That's freedom. But at the other hand, we have, so it's extremely complicated, and there is no easy silver bullet solution. There just really isn't.
But if you want it, you should be able to get it. Oh, go ahead.
Exactly. Oh, no, and I agree with that. Like, there should be facilities that are long term, that are programs that are long term, not just emergency care where basically like we talk you off the ledge, for 3 days, and then we let you back out with a blood supply of medication, and good luck to you. And but I also want to say, just because I brought up the prayer issue, I just, if there's anybody out there who's struggling with this issue of like, I should be able to pray about this, and and it's not, I'm not telling you what to do as far as looking for secular, Western mental health care, medication, therapy, whatever. But I do want to say, since I grew up in that culture and I understand it very well.
Right. You're talking about your experience.
Yes, that Jesus did not call us to impress him so much with our prayers that, you don't have to work yourself to death to get well. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to.
Okay. It's not as bad as I thought you were going to go.
No, like, it's not.
Go ahead, Stephanie.
I just want people to hear that, like, I had to come to grips with, like, I don't have to pray myself into, like, if I can't, what the culture tells you is if you're not praying hard enough, it's your own fault that you still feel bad, because you're not praying hard enough. You're not doing enough. You're not impressing God enough. Like, you don't have to impress God. Jesus said that his burden was light. To lay down your heavy burden and pick his up because his was light. He is not going to put anything on you that is going to make your situation worse. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is just don't feel like you're not getting better because you're a bad person, and you just have to continue to work your salvation, work your prayers, work all that stuff. Like, it doesn't. Jesus never said it had to be that hard.
Stephanie, fix your internet, because I feel like you was making a good point. It keeps cutting out.
Well, I'm driving, so that's that's kind of the problem. But I wanted to say, like, I just feel like there's somebody out there that needs to hear that that Christianity is not like, you don't have to continue to suffer because you think like
Ooh.
you're not
Robin
like,
Smith put it in a simpler way, Stephanie. She said
yes,
Jesus came to save, not punish. I agree.
exactly. And so,
I like that.
don't ever continue to just feel like it's your own fault that you're not getting better. Because if you had just prayed hard enough, if you had done this, if you had done that, if you gone to the healing service, like somehow, like Jesus would have stepped in. That's not what it's about. Like
Mhm.
Jesus never came to make you feel worse. So, don't carry on in that kind of suffering if there's alternatives. That's all I'm saying.
Right. And Stephanie, I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming up. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know, like, because I saw some stuff in the chat about, like, I just wanted to, like, say, like, you don't have to turn away from your Christianity, but don't let it
Right.
run you into the ground either.
Right.
Don't let
No,
it run
I
you into the
didn't think you
ground
were
because that's
saying
not what
that.
it's about. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, cuz.
Thank you. Kim, any last words?
I just want to say, that I really hope that everybody sends their prayers out to this whole situation.
Yes.
Like seriously, because I don't know, you don't know which way this is going to turn. It's been, an episode after another with Jag. Each, I think was the episode with her and Goomba and that whole thing in Solar, and then the next week the car, situation caught on fire. This week is with this young lady, and that's
Right.
really
It's always
concerning.
some episode.
Right, it's been an episode. It's been like she's outdoing herself each weekend. So I don't know what is going on with that situation. So it seems like it's going left, but I hope that it can be caught before it goes really left, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So because it's
Hopefully it
right now it's
can.
already taken a turn, and at this point, I guess everybody's just gotta have to hold on right now because, like I said, because she's an adult, even though we know that there's some issues. At the end of the day, I don't know. I'm hoping that there's some type of intervention that comes on with this whole situation.
Right. I totally
And
agree
whatever
with
that
you.
means, it could be something from a spiritual standpoint or someone where they are intervenes, but there's
Yeah.
going to be
Just
there's
help
going to
her.
have to
Just help.
right. It's going to have to right. It's going to have to be an intervention somewhere along the line for this to come to a head and for it to resolve itself. But right now, it's Looney Tunes.
Right.
Yeah,
Kimmy,
it's
thank
really
you so
crazy.
much for coming up. I appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, thanks for letting me come up.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good one. Okay, I'm gonna let is it Shatuli and then Andrea come up. Am I saying your name right? How do you say your name? You know I didn't
Uh,
finish college.
it's okay. It's Shotali.
Shatali. Oh, I like that. And then let me let Andrea up. Hey Andrea, how you
Hey,
doing?
I'm fine.
Good, good. Shatali, go ahead and start first.
Okay, I thank you for. I just found your channel yesterday, and I wanted to
Oh, thank
appreciate you
you.
for having a sound mind in this situation and being
Thank you.
transparent and being honest because you know what? That's what's really needed. And
Hmm.
I wanted to say that I'm not going to speak too much on Jaguar or anything like that. I'm going to speak to more of the resources in the nation because
Oh,
I
yes.
I I worked as a peer advocate, a substance abuse counselor, and mental health worker for the last 10 years. And I've been cross country. I'm from California and I've been up into Boston working in the homeless shelters. And I can tell you right now that the resources in between the East and West are kind of high in some places and low in some places.
Uh-huh.
Because
Mm.
because when I was in North Carolina, they only had North Carolina and Raleigh, their capital. They only had two women shelters, and there was thousands of
What?
women that are homeless. And so, and one of them was in the boonies that you had to take a bus to, and it took you an hour and a half to do a 15-minute bus ride. So
That ain't
when
cool at all.
no, it's not. So when I say that, when I'm explaining this, is that people are saying, yeah, resources are good in Detroit. Yeah, resources are good in Texas. But you got to remember the region and the areas. You got to
Hmm.
remember the transportation. Not all homeless people got cars, and not all homeless people are have access to public transportation. So
Hmm.
when I'm saying this also. A big point is the access to treatment and the access to emergency services may not be what Angela needs. And she may has already been on that route and been met with resistance, been met with her mental illness flaring up. She may
Mm.
not have been ready for that. So what do? You go to the most public thing and you make the most attention and you say the most thing. I don't care if she's I don't care if she's, these people's daughters. The
Right.
thing is that she cried out because she need this was the way. She wasn't This was her way of saying, I need you to listen. Yes, I
Correct.
may be saying something foolish. Yes, I may be saying something outlandish, but you're going to hear me though.
Right.
This been going on for the last 2 weeks. And baby, guess what? A lot of people have been listening. So when you do that, it's saying, I need you to listen. So as a peer advocate, I'm not going to compromise you reaching out to me. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say, uh-huh, uh-huh, and get it out and take you to somebody that may be similar. And that's why she went to Jaguar. In my opinion, that's why
Oh,
she went to Jaguar, because she saw the similarities, not the differences. She
Because it does
saw
right.
she saw the similarities and not the differences, and that's why Jaguar said straight to her. But you know what? It does it at the end of the day, they grown, and it doesn't matter what is the in between. Because
mhm.
all we really know is that both of them are going to be, kind of foolish in their ways to keep putting it out in the public, and we're going to continue to see it, and something's going to bubble over and something's going to happen. But be a witness, be a observer, and be a listener, and be a praying witness and a listening and observer is what we can do, because we can't we these are grown people. So what I'm saying is that the way, all treatment is not good for everybody. All medical services are not good for everybody. All medication is not a one size fit all for everybody. They're popping up more and more. If you need this kind of services, call the warm lines. Call the
Yes, the
warm
warm
line.
line.
Call the warm lights. They're getting national. They're getting everywhere. And you know what? More so on the East Coast than the West Coast, there are respite houses that employ people with lived experiences like this that can help you and get you
Right.
to this stuff and get you in, and just be a witness for you. They give you meals, they give you comfort, they give you this, so it slows down the psychosis, it slows down in this, and so you can get yourself grounded and back level. And no qualms, no hate to nobody in this situation. We all learning, we have to learn to give people grace. But if we just start offering a listening and witness and observing ear and a praying ear for people, I think we'll be moving to a better place. Because all this
Right.
content and clout chasing and everything like that, all it is showing that y'all got some good training skills. You got some good abilities of video editing and talking and the gift for gab and everything like that. But at the end of the day, let's take care of our mental, our spiritual, and our physical wellness, and let's
Right.
be some praying people for these people. Let's be some praying people and stop talking
Right.
about people so dang much that it just doesn't, it's just not a good look, and it's not a way forward.
Definitely. Andre, I'm gonna go ahead and get you in here because I can see the show is gonna turn out a different way. Shatuli, I appreciate you so much for coming up here, and everybody is
Thank you.
loving you in the chat too as well. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming up. Andrea, go ahead and sound
Hey,
off.
hey, I think the reason why the girl went to Jaguar because she saw herself in Jaguar. Okay. I
Hmm.
don't know how it is in other states, but in Georgia, we have 3 state mental facilities that you can go to and you don't have to pay. One is in DeKalb County, one is in Atlanta, Georgia. It's called the 8th floor on Grady Hospital, and the other one is in Milledgeville, and all the rest of them are privately owned. Also, as a people, we don't take mental illness seriously. We don't talk about it. We don't want to recognize it. We want to throw it under the covers. Lately,
Right.
if you notice, everybody that's been on YouTube for the last 3 to 4 weeks need mental illness themselves
Oh,
because
if you a YouTuber, you need it.
everybody is going loco, but nobody wants to say there's a problem. What her family could do if they wanted to step into her life. I don't know if they're in her life or out of her life. But
Right.
sometimes when a person is out of control and don't know what they're doing, sometimes your family can step in and go to a judge and get a court order. Evidently, the child or the person or the younger adult, she needs some help. She needs some help.
Hmm.
She's on a spiral down. She's out of control and she don't know what's going on. Sadly, that people have been having her on their platform. They're not telling her this. They're not talking to her as a serious person or saying, maybe you need to go get some help. What they're doing, they're trying to get some clicks and views
Yeah.
for for their own purposes.
And that's what the problem is. It's
Yes,
the
it is.
clicks and the views. And for me, like, you have to be honest with this situation because, like, technically we didn't need to know what was going on behind the scenes and how they were going to help
Exactly.
her. If they were just saying like, hey, we're going to reach out to you, and then we never known about it, this
Yeah,
wouldn't be a topic. It's because
yeah,
everybody is talking and this is coming out and then it's being spread around everywhere. That's why so many people have an opinion. So you can't get mad at people for having an opinion when you're
right.
putting it out here publicly. Go
Right,
ahead, Andrea.
right. Instead of people going about, I believe her. Try to make sense of what she said. She's crying out for help. She's out
Right.
of control. She's crying out for help. She's out of control. She probably don't know what's really going on here. Man, you can't love the devil 1 minute and then love God the next minute. That should tell you right there something is wrong with her behavior. But you know what? We have to blame ourselves. We have to look at ourselves as Black people and face up that there is some problems within our culture, and we need to talk about it and speak about it. And there's nothing wrong in getting help in mental health. Hell, I had to go to mental health because I was out of control with my behavior and I did not know
Mm.
what I was doing. You know, my parents had to put me into a private facility to get me and my shit together. Okay?
Wow.
Because see, when I was
And
out of
thank you for
control,
being honest about that, Andrea,
I was
too.
telling everybody I was not out of control, but in real life, I was. So, to this day, I still talk to a counselor. I still talk to somebody because I still have problems going on with me, what I'm thinking and I'm feeling. And it's good to always to talk to somebody, but don't talk to just any damn body. Talk to somebody that's going to hear you and give you some suggestion on how to handle your life.
Right.
But she needs help. Jaguar needs help. And everybody else that on YouTube for the last 3 weeks, they need some damn help too.
Right. Help. Somebody help.
Help. They need help. They're
That's
going
how, yeah,
crazy.
that's how I
It's,
feel. Like,
I
it,
mean,
it-
it's just it's out of pocket. It's out of line, and it just don't make no sense. It's just we're seeing We're seeing craziness at its best, y'all. 23 People are losing it. They're losing it. Instead of us telling those people, you need to get some help, we're going along with the program. They're losing it in 2023. They're losing it.
Right.
So, I feel sorry for the I even feel sorry for Jaguar. I hope that
I guess she's calling me out. There's a few people saying that she's calling me out. Okay.
Well, it is what it is.
Here's my thing. How are you calling me out, but then you asked to click the link? Now, I don't want Lagena on here because that's a serious situation. I don't want her on here. But if Jag wants to click the link and have something to say, then Jag can come up here and say something to me.
But you know what? I'm telling you something. Jag is not living into today. She's still living in a time when she was popular back there, when she was doing music and all that. You know what I'm saying? She's not living into today. Jag is a very smart woman, but along the line, something has happened to her. You know what I'm saying? And she needs to get back to herself. I wish her luck. I wish the other young lady luck. But look, there's nothing wrong in talking to somebody. Everybody needs somebody to talk to.
Shit, they can go get help together. Like, you're going to help this lady, but you ain't helped yourself yet.
But I'm going to tell you something about in Georgia. When you get out of control and somebody take you to the hospital, they have a doctor come and see you. They also have a clinical mental health person to come and see you. And they determine what then and there that you need to go in the hospital. In some cases, the state pays for you to go to the mental health hospital. I don't know about everywhere else, but in Georgia, that is a biggie in Georgia. So anyway, I just wish them the best. I hope they get well so they can be okay within themselves. And everybody else that's been on YouTube in the last 3 or 4 weeks running their mouth, they need to get some help to go find them somebody to talk to. So, I just wanted to say that, but you know what? I want to talk something. Life is real and mental health is real too.
Amen.
And that's for real. Bye, y'all.
Thank you, Andrea. I love when she said that. Yes, mental health is real. Okay, let me let Nadi up here. And I want to address that too. I don't know what Jag is saying because I'm on live, so I can't watch. Oh, there's that King World fool. There's King World right there. So anyway, if whatever Jag is saying about me, I honestly don't care. I want you to go get Lagena professional help. If all that she can cuss me out, say whatever she wanted to say, but if she go get Lagena help, that's all I care about. Go get Lagena help. You can say whatever to me. I'll be fine. I'm good. Did this fool just call me Wiley? Yo, he got the jokes. That is funny. But anyway, whatever she got to say about me is I don't care, because at the end of the day, you gotta. Oh, my mama calling me. Okay, my mama calling me. I'm gonna have to end this soon in a little bit. But whatever she's saying about me, as long as she getting whatchamacallit, Lagena help, that's all I care about. So it's irrelevant to me. Nadi, what's up, Nadi? How you doing?
Hey, AT2. I hope you are well on this Sunday.
Yes,
I just want to
I am.
say this. Thank you for having me on your panel. And at the end of the day, I want Lagena to go back to her home, her family. They are missing her. They're calling out for her. And that's who really wants to help her. Let's keep that in mind. There's a bunch of out cases out here. Who,
Jessica
me?
said, your mama calling to tell you not to let that lady on your life. That's what my mama calling to tell me? That was funny. I'm sorry, Nadi. I put it up and then I read it. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead, finish.
No, ultimately, this is a toxic situation. Let's just keep it real. And I want people to use their logic or whatever. Jag spews a lot of venom with no proof. Bottom line, that's the facts, okay? and she's looking for a following. She wants people to follow her for whatever reason and worship her and things like that. But she does not live a healthy lifestyle. That's facts. We've seen it for ourselves play out on YouTube and different platforms. At the end of the day, she is not qualified to help this young lady. And if she really wanted to help this young lady, she would have went to her where she was. She wouldn't try to drag her to Dallas. Why does everybody have to come to Dallas to get Jag's help in this day and age of technology? Let's just think about it. She tried to do the same thing with Tokyo Turney, who is not my favorite person, but she did the same thing. Oh, Tokyo, you got to come to Dallas. And you know what? She's not my favorite person, but Tokyo got some sense about her because she like, nah, sis, I ain't going to Dallas.
Tokyo will mess with her online, but she don't be going out to see her and
Why
stuff like that.
Why she need to go to Dallas for anything? Why anybody need to go to Dallas for Jag for anything? Okay.
Right. Well, I guess because she can't fly and it's only so many places you can drive to.
Who think? Okay, welcome to the world of accountability, Jag. Okay, you can't act a whole fool in the airport and think you're gonna fly. Nah, like this is the world. Jaguar also needs to be held accountable for the behavior. How she been going from panel to panel, disrespecting people. When we gonna say that? When we gonna talk about that? But everybody who want to cloud chase and get clicking views off of her, they co-sign her bad behavior. Right. And they are feeding her mental illness.
Exactly.
And I'm tired of the enabling.
That was the problem with the other two YouTubers is that they don't push back on her. And so they just go along with it. And so when you go along with it, you see what happened. It's pushed to a whole brand new level that they probably didn't think it was going to go to. But now it's too late.
But has anybody witnessed her misbehaviors? And has anybody see what this young lady getting into the mix of that? How her family is worried about her. She's very vulnerable. She had just got discharged from the hospital, which means she had a protocol to follow. There's an outpatient treatment plan.
And you have some kind of like social worker or care person, you know?
All that's in her state. She can't do that if she's not in her state. Do you understand?
Yeah, and that's what we were saying. Even if she can get on the list, she's going to be at the bottom of the list. So how is that going to work out?
Because all right, let's just say, for instance, because she lost her job, she lost her apartment, she lost everything. So let's just say she on state benefits. You can't, look, there's a process for her switching states.
Didn't I say, like, if it comes to like where she has health insurance, EBT, rental assistance, like those things don't transfer to the next state over. Like you actually have to
apply.
You have to apply, get on a list and everything, you know?
And that's the reality of it. Thank you, AT2. I mean, I also went live earlier because I'm really genuinely concerned because I have family members that suffer with the same ailment this young lady has been diagnosed with, and they have lost their lives.
So, I'm sorry about that, Nadi. Lagena said, I guess she's saying that her family has not called her. They haven't reached out to her. That's what she's saying.
They're trying to reach out to her. I was on a platform yesterday, and her family, her sister-in-law was up there. She has a twin brother. They're very concerned. They weren't aware. They were just starting to go through the process with her of going through the hospital. People need to understand, like, okay, it may take some time for your family to recognize what you're going through. Because in the beginning, like, let's just say you see your family member off, and you're just like, stop playing, laugh it off, or whatever, because you're not aware. It takes time for the family to get into the fold of that process. And they have to be educated on how to deal with that. And when you're dealing with schizophrenia, sometimes they create a world that is maybe like not realistic to us, but is very real to them. And a lot of times they do that to offset their symptoms. And because they don't want to deal with the fact that like they're hearing voices in their head. So they create a world. And what you have to do sometimes is kind of give into their world so that they can start communicating with you so you can really get a good gauge. But until you get educated on that as a family, you're oblivious. You don't know how to deal with this. Her family wants her to be home.
Right.
Her family feels like she's in danger.
Period. Now, you know, I don't want to say that Lagena is lying and she's not telling the truth.
No, she believes exactly what she believes it,
but
and that's her reality.
But I think there is something to say about whatever the communication is. Obviously, I feel like the communication is not good, obviously, you know, but I think she still needs to be at home where they could rebuild that. I think taking her out of her element and taking her out where she was the worst thing ever. That should not have happened. If y'all wanted to put her somewhere safe in a hotel, and then we could all come together, donate all that stuff, that would have been one thing. But to take her out of her area and where she's comfortable at, well, she wasn't comfortable. She said she wasn't safe, but where she's familiar with, that's what the word I was looking for. Familiar with was the wrong thing to do.
And for these YouTubers to exploit her, shame on y'all. And y'all all had a hand in this. Y'all all had a hand with her getting connected to Jag and everything. Y'all all, shame on all of y'all for exploiting this young lady for clicks and views and a come up.
Right.
And it's just like, yo, like, we gotta be better to one another. She's a human being at the end of the day, and human beings have different struggles and things like that. And she's so vulnerable right now. You guys don't even understand how much danger she is in. And we're talking about she's connected with a person who is unhinged, not balanced. She has disrespected her husband on a regular basis. She's hypersexual. She's a beast looking to feed. Do you understand that? Jaguar is on a revenge tour because she did not get the acknowledgement she wanted in the music industry, and she is taking it out on the YouTube streets. And everybody that gives her a platform, you are basically enabling her.
Right.
Because all it is attention for her. All she wants to do is go viral. She don't care what she got to do that. She don't care who she disrespect in that process. She don't care who she takes advantage of. Her end goal is what she cares about. And I can say that to her face. And I don't even think she woman enough to stand up to somebody like me because I deal with facts.
Right. And I think that's another thing too, because all of a sudden she was saying drop the link and now she disappeared or whatever. I think
she's a coward.
She wanted to go somewhere where it was safe for her, where she can, like a King Pain. She wanted to go to a King Pain where she could just spew out bullshit, cuss out everybody, and then just live her life.
If I can run your panel.
Right.
But why don't you run your own channel, Jaguar? You can do what you want on your channel. Why you gotta come to everybody else's platform and try to tarnish their brands? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Because as soon as you get cold, you come in all cold. I call her the Sour Patch Kid. Okay? Because she come in all warm and cozy and sweet, and she has this monotone voice, and then she flips into a beast, and all of a sudden she's an assassin.
Yeah, I told you she's a storyteller. You know, the you know, up and down, you know.
I'm done. And for them to drag this innocent young lady into their own agenda, this is what's wrong with our community today.
Right.
This is why we have a divide. Because you got scavengers like her walking around pretending to be an activist for this, and she can't even advocate for herself. Let's look at the facts, people. Let's look at the facts. She haven't been in the industry in years. She hasn't even been on Jay-Z level, Beyonce level. They don't associate with minions like her. That's why don't nobody come out and say nothing. Why would a billionaire entertain her broke ass?
I can't say you lying.
You're not telling us we don't know, Jag. The entertainment industry is crooked. But what you say out your mouth, because her mouth is her worst enemy. What you say out your mouth is how you witness all these things that went on. But what did you do about it? What did you do about it? What makes me feel you were complicit in all that behavior as well.
Right, because you're going around saying that they're doing this and that, but then we see you running around acting like a terrorist. So I'm confused what the message is. Like, what is really the message that you're giving the people? We don't know.
She's
Because it sounds like
revenge. She
bullshit
has a
because you're
revenge
asking.
spot. She has a revenge spot. And the reason why she latched on to YouTube, it didn't work out for her the first time. So she coming back around again. And she doing it 10 times worse.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go different places and it's always an explosion, at some point you gotta look at who the common denominator is.
Right. Before I let my next guest on, I want to ask you guys, can you guys go ahead and put hearts in the chat? I don't know if Lagena is still here, but if you guys can put hearts in the chat for her, just to show her that we support her. Because again, this is not an attack on Lagena. Lagena is the victim in this. We are not attacking Lagena. We are just talking about this.
Jaguar Wright and her manipulative ass. That's who I'm attacking.
Let me let Queen V up here.
Okay.
Hey, Queen V, how you doing?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead, sound off.
First, I'm so excited. Hey, Nani! Okay, so I'm going to give some history. So I am 55. So I have seen the mental health system throughout the generations, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will say we're getting better. It's not where it used to be, but it used to be way worse. Your earlier guest was mentioning how they would just lock you up real quick. That is facts. However, there are things that the family can still do, right? If I'm family, the first thing, they don't engage in the media, internet garbage. That's one.
Right.
Get to your authorities, get to the court, go to the news, do stuff like this.
Get power of attorney.
Like handle it the legal way.
First of all, it's all three of them need help. Now I'm going to talk to you about the military level, right? Because I am a spouse. So my husband had 5 combat tours, right? So
oh my God. Thank you for his service. And I know what you've been going through because my stepfather was a Purple Heart veteran twice. He went through Korea and Vietnam.
Very real, right? Yes, it can be managed, but it can be triggered in a lot of this drama that's going on. That's one, okay? So you have a service member with PTSD, right?
Right.
You too have a grown woman with a mental issue too, okay? You can't normalize or try to rationalize with someone who is mentally ill. I had it in my family. It's exhausting. The family has to also get help to handle it. It's the most exhausting thing ever. Friendship. When you really, really love someone, sometimes you do have to let them go. We have to stop co-signing it and call it for what it is, right?
Right.
Handle Jag with a long wooden spoon. Okay? Because this is very destructive behavior. But hey, what can everybody do out there? When you see something, say something. So that's what I did. So I wrote a legislator, because I'm here in the DMV area. Okay, so don't play with me.
Okay.
Okay, so I contacted Homeland Security. There's something all of us can do. Because when you sit on an internet that's trackable, when you put it out in the atmosphere, there's no taking it back, right? So yes, by the way, they're monitoring all of this, right?
Right.
All channels. You're doing threats. So Aaliyah's estate, that estate is they protected that estate for many, many years, right?
Right.
If some fuddy-duddy goes on, you're going to have some legal issues, right? If this woman cared about this young lady's mental state, she would not have her on the internet in no chat corresponding with YouTubers, because that's more traumatic for this young lady.
Right.
So I absolutely agree with Nadi. She is definitely in danger because you are dealing with someone who recently just got into an event at an airport.
And not even
Where you
following
have
her own
children there.
medical protocol, her own
Children
discharge
there.
orders. She's not following it.
Going crazy. That is not someone who has been placed on a no-fly list. So are we to believe that she can handle this lady? You would say that you would put her on camera as she to have hypnosis done on her. We have to stop. Can we pray for Jag too? Absolutely. This is Black History Month. We do not need to be tearing each other down. However, you have to call a spade a spade. And I have seen quite enough. It has triggered me in ways because this happened to my family members, right?
Speak that, Queen. This is personal for me.
This is not a joke. It speaks to me personally because dad, my father was in 30 years in the Army. You know, I was with my spouse 28. So this is speaking to me in a lot of personal levels.
Come on, Queen. Come on. I feel the energy.
You don't want this. Come after me because I'm 55. I'm ready for you.
Come after me, please. I will drop the link for you, girl, because you do not want to stand up to a real woman.
You know what? But you know what? That's another thing we got to stop doing. AT. I beg of you. I beg of all you. Stop letting her on the platform. You have to stop.
You're right. I accept that counsel. I accept it.
You have to stop.
We can't keep continuing to feed the beast because this is what she's thriving on.
Right.
Because listen, you have a YouTube, go on yours.
That's true.
Why haven't you been on your
all of y'all
platforms?
And she's very listen, you can agree to disagree. We're young ladies, and when you're older, you're older, you govern yourself accordingly. Anyone that speaks truth, she starts with I'll find out who you are. Come, baby, because listen.
But you're not even nobody to even be feared.
I'm gonna even be fair. Has she in the past spoken facts? Yes, she has. But it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
How you do it.
Absolutely.
Do I believe that woman has a gift? Listen, she has a voice of an angel. But God gives you gifts. Be careful what you do with your gifts.
I don't deny that she is gifted, but what I don't like, the way she feel like she can market other people's traumas without their permission. She does this on a regular basis.
Before you guys continue, I want to say this. Lagena, we are all sending you hearts. If you guys can go ahead and put hearts in the chat. We are all sending you love right now. We just want you to be okay. Yeah, we just want you to be safe.
I have nothing wrong to say about that young lady at all.
Yeah. You guys, I have to go ahead and end this live, but I just want to say thank you, Queen V. Thank you, Nadi, for coming up. I appreciate y'all. But all in all, we do care about Lagena. We want her to go ahead and get the best help possible, and hopefully the right thing is done. I don't know exactly what the answer is or what the right thing is, but we just want her to go get help, and get the best help needed, and hopefully whatever is going on with her family, it can be repaired. But thank you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Thank you for anybody super chatted, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all that good stuff. I appreciate every single one of y'all. But I have to go. Thank you guys. Love y'all. Deuces.